welcome to this edition of Money, Money, Money. I'm Sumera Abdi. You know, when we think about what the future holds, the optimists amongst us are filled with hope, while the pessimists amongst us can find it quite a daunting task, especially if there is a sense that we're not entirely prepared financially. But that needn't always be the case. Financial insecurity can both be dealt with, and here to provide a plan for just that is Roopa Venkatkrishnan, Director at Sapient Wealth Advisors and Brokers. Roopa, thanks very much for joining in, and thanks for speaking to us, because you're someone who has dealt with this issue amongst, I'm sure, many of your clients. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what are the signs of financial insecurity? And on the other hand, what does it mean to be financially secure?
Thank you so much, Sumera. Once again, a very good afternoon to all the viewers. So, as you rightly said, any kind of insecurity, whether it's emotional, financial, or professional, is bound to cause stress and anxiety. Financial insecurity can be a serious source of stress and anxiety, and it's highly linked to low level of financial literacy or problematic financial behaviors. But money is such an important part of our life journey because money buys food, shelter, and security for one and all. So financial security, when you refer to, it's a peace of mind experienced when you have relatively very few worries about money. For many, I think it's often entails being debt-free, fear from how to manage your money to pay the daily bills, controlling your personal finances, prepared for financial emergencies, contingencies, health issues, and steadily increasing your financial security over time. But as you rightly said, can you be more financially secure? Yes, of course we can be more financially secure. And financial security is about focusing on generating feelings of paying bill properly. When you plan yourself, when you set a target and plan yourself, I think you could achieve all of your financial insecurities, and you can set your house in order.
Okay, but is there a certain kind of investor who is more prone to financial insecurity?
Well, Sumera, it's very difficult to pinpoint saying that it is for a certain section of people, but I personally believe saying that it is for everybody. Each of us go through that financial insecurity. Anyone is prone to that financial insecurity because managing money is never taught at an educational institutions or at home or at a workplace professionally. It has to be cultivated by each of us during our own lifetime and life journey. And it is through friends and families and, that we learn how to manage our finances. So for many, financial security can feel like unattainable dream, which is not true. Investors who really bring in a discipline and savings habit don't live beyond their means and are prone to financially insecure. So you need to actually set yourself a goal and a plan saying that how do you want to set it, and you take it forward from there.
Okay, but Roopa, does this financial insecurity stem, is it a financial problem? Does it stem from not earning enough or not saving enough or maybe spending more than one is, or is it a psychological issue? What are the first signs that somebody must look for?
So it's very difficult to pinpoint, Sumera, saying that what exactly would drive that to, but we develop our beliefs and attitudes about money early in life. So often we aren't even consciously aware of what our beliefs are, okay, let alone what we learn on them. If you're dealing with financial avoidance or financial denial, and think critically about money beliefs you learned in childhood, you analyze and think about what your parents taught you about money, or you need to talk to a member in your family about your beliefs about how do you manage your money, then try to challenge your existing belief about money. That's where you will bring and get into a conscious mode of how do you manage money. So money matters are too important to ignore. And I think financial literacy is linked to money mismanagement and to debt. Debt in return is associated with low self-esteem. Sometimes because we don't have proper jobs or we don't have salaries which come on time, we are not capable to handle stress. So most people are struggling with financial avoidance or financial denial. So you have to take action and be back on track with your money.
But is it just the lack of resources which causes this insecurity, or could it be that the goals are not? You don't have targeted goals, or that the procedure or process you're following towards it is not focused enough?
So, Sumira, there is never a case that whatever you earn is always less for yourself and for everyone. Each of us earn, but we always have expenses, which are because we are all human beings and we are very aspirational. So both, I think, lack of resources and lack of goals or focused process contribute to financial insecurity. And life holds many uncertainties, such as an economic crisis or a loss of job, or can be between when you are in your early 20s or in your 40s, when you may think of retirement or when you're setting up your family. The prospect of planning far into the future can be seen daunting to you, saying that, oh, how will I manage money? And rather than, setting long-term goals, it is always advised saying that you have short-term goals built in, you have shorter plans that you can build in, which are measurable, precise. Say, for example, you have used up a lot of your credit card limits. Then how do you pay off your credit card debt within a year, contribute something to your retirement, set each contribution each month? I think if you set goals, you will have a better chance of achieving them. And if you merely would want to pay down your debt, but fail to set time limit, even process, I think it is very important that you set a plan, set a goal, which are meaningful and which are, which help you to wade through the crisis and the stress. So financial security can be overcome by steady means of focused approach, which can bring in reliable progress.
Okay, so now let's talk about how to let go of this insecurity, right? How can a person begin to feel, financially more secure about their future?
Sumira, the first thing is, I think if there is a way, if there is a will, there is a way. Correct? And it is not something that it's a rocket science and each of us have done all our lives. So I think the only thing to secure your future is and only saying that save consistently. It's a vital part of achieving your financial security. And if you're not sure how to start, I think it's very important saying that you could take advice from certain professionals, or consider using a simple Senator Elizabeth Warren's rule, which is 50-30-20, which means saying that 50% you keep aside for your household and utility and grocery expenses. 40% can be set aside for your short-term, long-term needs, which is shopping and hobbies. And 20% can be put aside for savings and retirement plan and emergency. And once you plan this, I think you will be able to reach your respective goals and bring in that financial security for yourself.
Okay, Roopa, do stay on. It's time for us to take a very quick break, but we are going to continue this chat with Roopa on the other side about how you can let go of your financial insecurity. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Money, Money, Money. Roopa Venkatkrishnan of Sapient Wealth is with us, and we've been talking about how to let go of your financial insecurity, what it means, how can you recognize it, and more importantly, how can you get over it. So Roopa, one of the things that brings a lot of peace of mind, at least to Indians, is real physical assets, real estate, gold, something that we can touch and feel and see, right? But isn't it a fallacy to just keep accumulating physical assets? I mean, I understand that, at least those who are just about getting started on their investment journey, they may have a little bit of mistrust about financial savings. But, just being invested in real estate and gold ultimately will lead to more insecurity later on, right?
So, Sumera, I should go back to my earlier, comment, which I said, saying that we all have learned about finance and money over the last, because we have here said what our parents have done, what our grandparents have done, because we don't have any professional training that we go through over a period of time to how do you manage your money better, or the best way to manage. So obviously, financial security refers to basically saying that you need peace of mind felt, where we aren't worried about money. Okay, that's the understanding that all of us have. But often this means that we also need to have enough income to comfortably cover our expenses, correct? So being debt-free, having savings, cover emergencies, these are all something which we all know. But the myth is that we carry over the period of time is saying that gold or real estate or any other asset class is always good and the others are not. But all of us need to understand saying that I think what we are learning and observing saying that we need to have everything into our basket. There is no asset class which is bad, but each asset class has its own intrinsic characteristics of wealth creation, of generating certain kind of income. It also has characteristics of liquidity, how much money that in particular vehicle can give you returns. So real physical assets or gold are one of a kind of vehicles to invest for securities, right? Just like you have equities or portfolio management services, PMS, you have tax-free bonds or any of it. But very importantly, we need to know saying that which is the asset class which can give you sustainable regular cash flow so that we can maintain our lifestyle. And also that our money has to grow above inflation to sustain our lifestyle. So these are very important aspects that we all need to know and not get stuck to saying that it's either gold or real estate.
But how far can professional help go in helping get rid of financial insecurity? Want to understand what an advisor can do, which an investor or a person can't do themselves.
So I think over the period, Sumera, it's very essential that all of us need to know that a professional help will always help an individual to plan their or make a roadmap to their entire journey so that they are financially able to handle and create wealth for themselves. Obviously, a professional can help them in the way how to draw plans, specific investment vehicles to meet their specific needs, because each of us have specific needs, because each of us have different cash flows, different commitments, different liabilities. So obviously the money that has to be managed personally matters differently to each people. It is not that everyone will have the same plan. And also saying that the most important thing why you need a professional is because you need somebody to counsel you. Because investment, we are very emotional people when it comes to, as human beings, we are very emotional. So when it comes to investments, we also become very emotional. But we have to be very rational and practical when it comes to investments. So it is very, very essential saying that during to navigate your financial journey, you definitely need to seek a guidance or a professional help that will really help you to be out of your financial stress. And I think it's just an example saying that, just like if you look at even Sachin Tendulkar, who was a cricketer and he was the best batsman, he needed a coach till the day he retired. So I think all of us need to understand it was not that Sachin didn't know how to play. It's just that you need, because each day is different, our emotions are different. So you need tactics, you need to understand how do you play. So in the same way, when it comes to investments, as dynamics are changing in the financial markets, it is faster, the kind of wealth, the kind of lifestyle we are living. I think we really need somebody to help us through this journey. And I think there are very good professionals today available who can help you wade through this whole journey of your financial wealth creation journey.
But Roopa, I mean, clearly it is possible that somebody could successfully overcome their financial insecurity. In your experience, have you helped somebody or guided them with this? And how do they continue the journey they're on?
So, Sumera, what happens is my experience has been saying that people have a lot of inhibitions when it comes to money, to speak to anyone, even if it to a friend or a family, to anyone. So when it comes to money, people always feel saying that you need large sums of money to create large sums of wealth. And to approach somebody, they have, they don't feel like talking about money. I think that's a taboo in the society itself. So I think we need to overcome. But as people, when you go across and talk to them and help them, I think they open up to a larger extent and say that how they want to speak. But they need somebody to cajole them to actually come out and speak. And it takes a lot of time for me to cajole them to come and say that I can help you create wealth for you. Don't worry, even if it's 100 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees. Let's start the journey. So it's a taboo. Society, money is a taboo in society. So people are very inhibition to talk about it. And I think it is very essential that we need to seek help.
And Roopa, financial insecurity is not always about just, whether you yourself are prepared for the future financially, right? It can even stem from, where you feel that somebody else's net worth is more than yours, or, one spouse is earning more than the other, or even that you feel that you haven't gotten as far along in your career as you might have hoped, right? So for somebody who's, watching right now, looking to get started, if you could summarize with, some sort of a structured plan.
So as you rightly said, each of us come from different backgrounds. We have different commitments and different income levels. So I think what I have experienced and what I've just evolved over a period of time, financial, a roadmap is first to evaluate your situation today. That is how much I am earning, what is my current expenses. I always advise saying that live below your means, create a financial goal, short-term, long-term, make a financial security plan for yourself, which is your insurance, which is your current contingency funds. And if also, because of when you do all of this, you will realize saying that are you spending more or spending less? So most of the time we spend more. So please reduce your expenses, pay off your debt, save for things like emergencies, retirement, your children's education. Maybe you want to buy a house in the next 5-10 years. Find a way. Also, if you think saying that your income levels are very below and you're not able to manage and you are stressful, then maybe you have to find a way to increase your income. Maybe you could coach somebody, teach somebody, see that your income levels increases. You might also do some overtime so that that overtime money can be saved. Diversify your investment and mitigate your risk, saying that don't get carried away. We saw it during pandemic saying that everybody got carried away in cryptos and trading and futures and options without understanding. And the last but not the least, be absolutely consistent in your financial security and management, because that is the essence of your financial insecurity. take guidance, go to people, speak to people, go to experts who can help you.
Absolutely. And if I can just add an 11th point to that, which is to constantly keep educating yourself. Financial literacy will form the base on which your feeling of financial security will sort of try to step in. So constantly keep educating yourself. I mean, we're living at a time when there is an abundance of information that is available. So please read, as and when you can, as much as you can. And trust me, being financially literate will go a long way in helping you get over this feeling of financial insecurity. Roopa, as always, thank you very, very much for joining in. So I hope this edition of Money, 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 which focused on how to let go of your financial insecurity, was beneficial for you, especially because we have come out of 2 years dealing with the pandemic, where a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people might have, received pay cuts. A lot of us have also lost, members of the family who were contributing financially. So there is a lot of financial insecurity that many people are dealing with, but it is not as dire as you may feel in the middle of the night when you wake up. It is something that you can work on and get over. So I hope this would be the nudge that you needed. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this useful.